Hi, this is Josh, CEO and founder of Chaotic Fitness. We're a competition and bikini prep team out here in the Bay Area. I also do some privatized training. I'm here to just give some tips on how I've been able to take, people who don't work out all the way to being on stage in about 6 to 8 months. The first thing I start off with in all my plans is foundational period. Now, what foundational period is, it's basically where I'm not giving my clients a meal plan. I'm not giving them even really a workout plan or supplementation plan. I'm more giving them some generic grocery list, generic workout plan, generic supplementation, so that they can very easily start to realize what they're eating, understand what's good food, what's a good workout look like, what are supplements, so that that first week to 2 weeks there isn't exact parameters on the planning. It's just them trying to recognize what it takes in order to start making changes. So the first couple weeks we'll work together, me and the client, to really nail down what they can be eating, what they can't, how their body reacts to certain foods, how it doesn't react to certain foods. And after the first week to 2 weeks, I now have a good database on where I need to kind of improve and where we need to focus on basically adding in food and subtracting food. So after the first 2 weeks, that's when I give them the specific meal plan that goes hour by hour. Obviously, the first 5 days on that, they're going to struggle to hit the timing, hit the exact meal plans. They might cheat. But again, now they have a better idea of where they need to be, so that by week 3, they can completely be on the plan they need to be on. Now, I've found the best results with not just giving a client a meal plan for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even 1 week and seeing how they go. I like to go more day by day, see how the body reacts. And if they go 5 days without getting where I need them to go, I'll change the meal plan. I continuously change the meal plan until they get the results they need or the result I want. What I've found, and again, I've managed a lot of gyms the past 3 years, is that a lot of trainers, they just become macro dependent. They put their clients in some deficit, which they really haven't calculated why they need to be in that deficit, and they say go. And when their client doesn't lose any weight, or they might lose 1 pound, or they stop losing, or they don't gain any muscle, or the skin doesn't get tighter, or et cetera, they're kind of a loss for words or a loss of an explanation, because they didn't really think out the plan. They just were just doing macros, doing the percentage, 40, 40, 20, whatever it might be, and then going. So when I'm training trainers, and what I do in my own program is, you have to learn your client's body. You have to learn what really they need to do in order to be successful on a weekly basis. So some clients, I'll change the diet, every 3 days, just to get them to start losing or start gaining, whatever it might be. And some clients, I can let them coast for 2 weeks because the diet works so well. But again, that's client to client. As far as the cardio goes, I don't like to start off with a lot of cardio. I think if you start off with an hour 30 of cardio, no calories, and they lose 2 pounds, that's not sustainable. So I always like to let the diet kind of drive it, then start to supplement the cardio in as weeks go on. I found that I don't usually like to let my clients run a lot. We like to keep a Stairmaster bike. Again, I found that I can go on and on, but just on a vague sense, I found that again is going to help build the legs, help get away from that ugly runner's body that tends to occur on people who run too much. And then as far as weightlifting goes, like I always tell my clients, everyone does the same workouts. The workouts don't really range in difference from person to person or from whatever state to state, country to country. But the thing that separates lifters is the intensity, the supersets, the drop sets, knowing when to take your rest time, knowing how much weight you need to be lifting. All these variables need to be answered as the program goes on. So I found that trainers, you can give them a split, but you have to realize that they need to be trained at a certain level of intensity with a certain level of discipline in order to get the results in a 16-week period, because that's what we ultimately want as trainers. So I found that, again, going week by week, making sure I know that they're not only lifting, but that they're lifting the correct way, that they're lifting with intensity, goes a long way in starting to develop muscle, because people often think that they're lifting heavy or hard, but they're not really. They're kind of falling short. So the last point would be supplementation. So again, supplementation, I do not like to, again, start the programs off with heavy supplementation or fat burners or even carnitine. A lot of these things I don't like to put in the program in the first couple of weeks, because again, I want the diet to lead the most change. But as the program goes on, supplements do become a big part of the program. I always tell people, supplements are just icing on the cake. The diet, the workouts, just the cake. The icing is going to be the supplements. So making sure your clients understand what time supplements need to be taken at, why they're taking the supplements, and understand how it's reacting with their body, like the thermogenics, the carnitine. It's super important, again, towards educating your client on what they exactly need to take. In my 16-week programs, what I've found the most success with is if you can provide the client with as much knowledge as possible along that road, they're going to be way more successful during the program because they'll think more about the choices they make. A lot of trainers, I feel, I've seen, hold back information because they want the client to resign or they don't want to go into depth. But what you're really doing is encouraging the client because they won't really be able to fully commit to your plan because they don't know why they're eating white rice, they don't know why they're eating the sweet potato, not the white potato, etc., etc. So providing all that information is super important. Lastly, I think if I'm just keeping it vague again, in client success, it's super important again that we don't just fall in love with the scale. I tell clients all the time, it's not really about how much weight, how much you weigh for guys or how less you weigh for girls. It's really just about how the body's shaping and how that correlates to the weight. So making sure the progress picture being taken once a week at the same date, making sure that we're seeing the skin texture get better, the skin folds get better, making sure that the glutes are lifting, the shoulders are coming more round. These are super, super important towards building a body while we're losing. Oftentimes I see people just try to lose and they realize when they get to the weight they want to be, they don't have any muscle mass and they don't have the look they want. So again, it's super, super important that as we develop these clients, we want their body and muscular development to get better as their body fat's dropping and not just have their weight drop 30 pounds and them look loose, right? So all those things, supplementation, the picture check-ins, developing a good workout plan, constantly changing the diet, making sure your clients are educated, go into making a pretty successful program, I believe, for any trainer.